Hello students, welcome to the virtual English class produced by the Center for Education and Human Resource Development. In today's class, we are going to practice listening some exercises and write a film review. Alright students, then let's start with a picture from your textbook. Let's look at the book. Okay students? Okay, here you see a picture of someone. Do you know the person who he is? Or do you know the person in the picture? Where did you see him? What does he do? Okay, he is a great dramatist in English. So you have heard about him, right? And you have seen his pictures in many places and in many books as well. Yes, and he has written or he wrote many plays and poems in English. All right, and do you know other his plays and other poems about him from his writings? So what are they? What are the names of those plays and poems? Can you name some? Okay, I'll help you here with some works of him. So what is the name of this person first? Can you tell me? Okay, yes, you're right. His name is William Shakespeare. Right. Let's see his works. Hamlet, one of the best work. Macbeth, King Lear, Romeo and Juliet, and Othello. These are some greatest tragedies by him, right? So he also wrote some comedies and historical dramas. So we are going to listen to a text today, and it is about his one of the comedy book or the drama of comedy. The name of the book is The Merchant of Venice. Okay, so let's see other works as well before we listen to the text. So these are some comedies. If you like to see his works, there are some more others too, but these are some of the well-known, best-known works by William Shakespeare. So you can read it like As You Like It, Comedy of Errors, Merchant of Venice, Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing, and Histories, Henry IV Part 1, Henry IV Part 2, and some tragedies like Hamlet, Julius Caesar, King Lear, Macbeth, Othello, Romeo and Juliet. Okay, these are just the information for you. You don't need to memorize these names. All right, students. So we are going to look at the exercise now. What is there in your exercise is that you have to study the given, some clues of the text, and you have to supply the information with by listening to the text. So there are the clues like name of the book, author, date of publication, name of the moneylender, Antonio's friend, relationship between Portia and Bassanio. Okay, we will hear all the information in the listening text. So please keep in your mind, what is the name of the book, who is the author, and what is the date of publication, when the publication means when the book came or released. The name of the moneylender means the person who gives money, and Antonio's friend, and what is the relationship between Portia and Bassanio. Okay, these are very new names for you. You can listen to the audio text clearly or carefully, and then you will understand the whole story, and it will be easier for you to understand. So let me play an audio file for you. So let's think of the clues and get the information for supplying in these blanks. Okay, so are you ready, students? Okay, let's listen to the audio.
2. Listen about the play The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare.
Certainly one of my favourite books is The Merchant of Venice, and it's by William Shakespeare. It is believed to have been written between 1596 and 1598. It is classified as a comedy. It is a love story between Bassanio and Portia. When Bassanio asks for money, Antonio borrows it from Shylock upon the condition that if he is unable to repay the money at the specified date, Shylock may take a pound of Antonio's flesh. Then he gives it to his friend Antonio. Unfortunately, he cannot repay it on time. Shylock asks for flesh, but he is accused of criminal activity because of the nature of the contract. Finally, Shylock is punished. I like this play very much.
Okay, you have listened to the audio file and you got so many information, right? What is the name of the book? Yes, you know that, right? The name of the book, as we already mentioned, one of the comedy by William Shakespeare is The Merchant of Venice, right? So let me show you. Yes, The Merchant of Venice. And who is the author? Definitely the author we are talking about. We already watched his picture as well. So he is William Shakespeare. Yes, you are quite right. Now you are a little bit confused, I think, with the date of publication and about the story or the plot of the drama or the play. Now let me play the audio text once again so you can complete the other rest of the blanks. All right, students, are you ready? Okay, please have a look at the information there. Date of publication, once again, name of the moneylender and Antonio's friend, and relationship between Portia and Bassanio. All right, okay, let me play the audio again.
2. Listen about the play The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare.
Certainly one of my favorite books is The Merchant of Venice, and it's by William Shakespeare. It is believed to have been written between 1596 and 1598. It is classified as a comedy. It is a love story between Bassanio and Portia. When Bassanio asks for money, Antonio borrows it from Shylock upon the condition that if he is unable to repay the money at the specified date, Shylock may take a pound of Antonio's flesh. Then he gives it to his friend Antonio. Unfortunately, he cannot repay it on time. Shylock asks for flesh, but he is accused of criminal activity because of the nature of the contract. Finally, Shylock is punished. I like this play very much.
That was the audio, and we got the more information from the audio text, right? So what was the date of publication? It was 1596. In between 1596 to, what was that another date? 1598. Let's see. Yes, it was between 1596 and 1598. During this period, this book was written. We have no fixed date available, so it is the period when it was written. Okay, so another information was that who is the moneylender? So moneylender was Shylock, right? And who is Antonio's friend? Antonio's friend was Bassanio. Yes. And what is the relationship between Portia and Bassanio? They are lovers, right? They love each other, they like each other, and they are ready to get married, right? Yes. So we can say they are lovers. Okay. This is the information that we need to supply here in these blanks. Now we have another exercise for the listening for the same text. So let's look at the text. Okay, this is the text, or we can say that this is a review of a book, The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. So once again, you are listening to the same audio file, and you have to complete these blanks with the necessary information. All right, students, are you ready for this? Okay, then let's listen to the audio file again, and please go through the text, follow the audio file, and you can get the information there. All right, students, let's listen to it.
2. Listen about the play The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare.
Certainly one of my favourite books is The Merchant of Venice, and it's by William Shakespeare. It is believed to have been written between 1596 and 1598. It is classified as a comedy. It is a love story between Bassanio and Portia. When Bassanio asks for money, Antonio borrows it from Shylock upon the condition that if he is unable to repay the money at the specified date, Shylock may take a pound of Antonio's flesh. Then he gives it to his friend Antonio. Unfortunately, he cannot repay it on time. Shylock asks for flesh, but he is accused of criminal activity because of the nature of the contract. Finally, Shylock is punished. I like this play very much.
Okay, that was the audio file, and you got a whole story about the Merchant of Venice, right? So what was there? Did you get the idea of what was there in the story? Before that, let's supply the information for some of the blanks here. So the books that the narrator or the reviewer is talking about is his favorite book, and it is by, we already know that it is by William Shakespeare, and it is written between, we also already have got the date that between 1596 to 1598, right? So it is classified as a what kind of story?
2. Listen about the play The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare.
Certainly one of my favourite books is The Merchant of Venice, and it's by William Shakespeare. It is believed to have been written between 1596 and 1598. It is classified as a comedy. It is a love story between Bassanio and Portia. When Bassanio asks for money, Antonio borrows it from Shylock upon the condition that if he is unable to repay the money at the specified date, Shylock may take a pound of Antonio's flesh. Then he gives it to his friend Antonio. Unfortunately, he cannot repay it on time. Shylock asks for flesh, but he is accused of criminal activity because of the nature of the contract. Finally, Shylock is punished. I like this play very much.
I said comedy, tragedy, history. What kind of is it? As I said earlier, it is a comedy. So what is there in the plot of the story? I'm going to explain it to you before we listen to it for the last time. Okay, students? So let's talk about the plot. Plot means the story in a, or a story or events in a novel or story or drama. So let me explain to you, right? So the name of the book is The Merchant of Venice. And the main characters are Antonio, all right? Antonio, and Antonio is a merchant of Venice. And he has a friend whose name is Bassanio, right, students? And Bassanio loves Portia. Are you getting me, students? Antonio is a merchant, and he has a friend, Bassanio, and Bassanio loves Portia. And Bassanio wants some money to get to the city of where Portia is living, and Antonio does not have much money at that time because he has invested in his business. So he borrows money from another moneylender or businessman, Shylock. Okay, Shylock. So he borrows money. He is the money lender. Okay, Shylock is the money lender to Antonio, and Antonio is going to borrow the money and lend it to his friend. All right, and there is a condition. Okay, in between them, there is a condition that if Antonio is unable to repay the money, unable to repay the money, unable to repay, he has to, give a pound of flesh to Shylock. This is a comedy, so the things that is dealt here is also a little bit comic, because instead of money, someone is asking a piece of flesh from someone. Okay, so this is a kind of comedy, and Antonio has to give his flesh instead of money if he is unable to pay on time. That is the condition. And unfortunately, what happens? He gets lost in his business. His ship wrecks, and then what happens is that Shylock knows that he cannot repay it, and he demands his place instead of the money. And later, Portia, as a disguised lawyer in a court, she blames Shylock for the conspiracy or the criminal activity, and finally Shylock is punished and Antonio is released, and he is not, and he does not have to repay the money. So this is how the plot goes in the story, or in this drama, or the comedy, in this comedy. So let's now try to imagine that story and fill in the blanks. All right, students, let's look at the story again. It's a love story between, who is the lover? Yes, he is, I already told you, Bassanio. Okay, let's listen to the audio file once again for the last time and complete the information. Okay, students, are you ready? Okay, let's listen to it.
2. Listen about the play The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare.
Certainly one of my favourite books is The Merchant of Venice, and it's by William Shakespeare. It is believed to have been written between 1596 and 1598. It is classified as a comedy. It is a love story between Bassanio and Portia. When Bassanio asks for money, Antonio borrows it from Shylock upon the condition that if he is unable to repay the money at the specified date, Shylock may take a pound of Antonio's flesh. Then he gives it to his friend Antonio. Unfortunately, he cannot repay it on time. Shylock asks for flesh, but he is accused of criminal activity because of the nature of the contract. Finally, Shylock is punished. I like this play very much.
Okay, now you have got all the information, right? Now let's fill in the blanks with the correct words. It is a love story between, who is the person? Who is the lover of Portia? He is Bassanio, definitely. Yes. When Bassanio asks for money, Antonio lends it from where does he get the money? As I told, he gets money from Shylock, because he does not have money at that time to give to his friend Bassanio, right? So upon the condition that if he is unable to repay the money at that specified date, Shylock may take a pound of Antonio's. What do you think here? What does he demand from Antonio if he is unable to repay? It is the flesh. Okay, then he gives it to his friend Antonio. Unfortunately, he cannot repay it on time. Shylock asks for flesh, but he is accused of what kind of activity? Criminal activity, right? And because of the nature of the contract, finally, Shylock gets punished. Okay, these are the information that we need to supply in these blank spaces, and this is the solution for your listening activities. Now we are going to move to the another topic or another question, that is activate yourself from exercise C, and it tells you to work in groups and collect as much information as possible about the film you like most. Write a review of the film and present it orally. At the end, ask some comprehension questions to your classmates. This is the now thing we have to do next. All right, are you ready, students? Okay, I'm going to help you. Don't worry about this. So this is a new thing for you. Okay, you have watched so many movies, but you don't know how to review it, right? Okay, then there is no problem after you watch this video lesson. I'm going to give you step-by-step solution how you can do it. First, we will have a look at the sample reviews, okay, of movies, and later I will provide you some steps. So we are going to write a film review. And before writing the film review, I'm going to show you some sample or examples of film review. So let me show you a picture of a movie that you might have watched. Have you watched this movie? Which movie is this? And what did you like the most there? And what was the less interesting thing in it? So we are going to see a review of this movie, all right? So what is the movie name now? You know it, right? It's Frozen 2. Have you watched? Okay, what is the song, famous song from Frozen 1? Let It Go, right? You like this song very much. So let's see a review from this Frozen 2 movie. So this is the film review. Let's see how the information are given here. I'll read it for you. Frozen 2 is a computer animated classical fantasy film produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios. It is directed by Chris Bock and Jennifer Lee. It's a success based on certain songs and the masterpiece of animation. Frozen 2 overall is a stunningly beautiful film. The film opens with young Anna and Elsa playing a game with Elsa's snow creations in an enchanted forest of their own creation. King Agnar and Queen Iduna enter, and Agnar tells the girls he has seen an enchanted forest in real life. Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven leave Arendelle to travel to an ancient forest of an enchanted land. They set out to find the origin of Elsa's powers in order to save their kingdom. Frozen 2 is funny, exciting, sad, romantic, and silly. It has great songs and hilarious recap of the first movie. However, this sequel can seem overstuffed at times and tries a bit too hard to replicate the magic of the first film. The technical side of things almost makes you forgive the slightly messy story. Frozen 2 is one of those movies children will want to see dozens of times. It will reward repeat viewings. Okay, students, this is an example of a film review. You saw different parts there. So in the beginning, it was an introduction part, and there is the plot or the story of the movie. And second, in the third part of the review is that what you liked most and what is less interesting in the movie. And finally, this is the recommendation part. In this part, you recommend or suggest some, what you want to say to the audience or the viewers. So this is your message or recommendation in the last part. Now, let's look at the parts in detail. So what are there in a film review? You have to introduce what is the movie name and who directed it and where was it set. So you need title, main actors, characters, setting and context. Setting and context means the place and time. When was it set? Is it, in the future, or is it in past, or what is the context? Is it some political issue, or what kind of problems are there? So this is the context or setting in the movie. So you are going to introduce in your first part of the review. And next, let's see. In the body part, you are going to talk about the plot, characters, and strong and weak points, soundtracks, it's sound effects, special other effects, and you are going to analyze it, what are the best or what are the strong points and what are the weak points. To talk about these things, you can use the word like, although this movie is, interesting to watch, some of the things are less interesting or less attractive. You can analyze like this. Okay, students, you are talking about characters. Plot means the story or events that goes on in the movie, and strong and weak points about the movie and its soundtracks and other effects. Okay, these are in your body part, in the review's body part. Let's see the final part of the review. In this part of the review writing, you can express your personal opinion about the movie, and you recommend to the viewers. You can say, I personally think that this movie is excellent, or marvelous, or you can say outstanding, or you can say I highly recommend this film because it has great music, it has great visual effects, and so on. This is how you recommend. If you don't like, you can say it's not worth to see, or it's waste of time. Like this, you can comment on the last part of the review. Now let's see the format. Okay, and the same thing you can describe like this. Introducing in this part, you can say movie name, and you can write the type of it. Like some movies are adventure, some are biography, some are love story or war film or horror film. You have to mention this. And another is, where does it take place? Is it in prison or in the rural area, or in what time, in the future or in the past? You can talk about this. And another is starring, for example, Rajesh Samal or Nikhil or Niruttha, and directed by who? Someone who is the director. You can mention these things in the introductory part. And your next part is the plot summary. In this part, you are going to talk about what happens in the story or the movie. Here, for example, Rajesh Samal plays the part of Shankar, and a chief character or chief role of somebody, and who tries to do that thing, and he follows that train like that. You are going to describe the whole plot of the movie. Next is negative points. In this part, you are going to look at the features like music, scenery, acting, special effects, plot, script, costumes, and if you like, you can say wonderful. If you don't like, you can say too ugly or ridiculous, boring, predictable, and cheap or old-fashioned. And if you like, you can say breathtaking, superb, outstanding, interesting, and well-designed. Okay, these are the things you can mention in the analytical part, or the another part after plot. So the final part of the review is that your recommendations or your suggestions, what you want to tell to the viewers. Like if you say it is beautiful movie, you can say it's a must-see movie. It is entertaining. If you don't like, you can say it's a waste of time. So you can comment on that weaknesses of the movie. So this is how you can create. Now let's see an example from Nepali movie. Have you watched Kabaddi, 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 Kabaddi 3? Or have you watched this movie from Nepali industry? Okay, you might have, or most of us have watched this movie, right? What part do you like the most? It's comedy, right? it's the comic film, and we like to laugh a lot, and it gives you laughter and entertains you with beautiful, pictures or the beautiful movie sceneries from the mountain area. Okay, so let's look at how we can write about this movie. Okay, think about the information about this movie, and let's see how they are mentioned here. Kabaddi is an established brand in Nepali film industry. The third work of series, Kabaddi Kabaddi Kabaddi, is a comedy film starring Dayahang Rai, Upsana Singh Thakuri, and Vijay Baral. Director Rambabu Gurung and his script partner Upendra Subba have presented the story in a semi-rural setting where people are in problems from unemployment and caste system of the society. The movie uses small incidents to make the audience laugh. Bir Kazi, or Dayahang Rai, is committed not to marry any woman after his love broke his heart. From the previous movie we know that. And the situation comically turns into the following a woman again when the new heroine Upsana Singh Thakuri hugs him for the first time. Bir Kazi's long-time friend Birkhe Vijay Baral's role is essential in the movie, and his impact rests on his ability to make people laugh. Another key character, Dhwase or Korma, is also comic throughout the movie. Established comic actors like Wilson Bikram Rai, Buddhi Tamang also contribute to the plot from the periphery. Now, although there are comic moments to get the audience tuned, the story do not look convincing. While a well-crafted movie should gradually reveal the dynamics, this movie tells everything in the first half. The second half does not add any new dimension in the story, except that Bir Kazi's missing girlfriend Maya or Resma Guru returns to give a surprising end to the movie. Overall, the movie is worth to see. The visual captures of the mountain area in spring season, the sound clarity, and the healthy comic contents make this movie entertaining. Okay, this is how we can write a movie review from Nepali movie. Let me show you again where are the parts. Now, the first part is introducing part. In this part, you talked about the title or the name of the movie and actor or setting. Where is the setting here? Semi-rural setting. So it is kind of village setting, and people are in problem of unemployment and social caste system. Next part is the plot. Plot means the story. What happens here? Here is Bir Kazi following Upsana Singh Thakuri, or the heroine of the movie. Another thing you have to mention is the character in the movie, of the movie. Okay, so next is you are going to talk about the strong and weak points of the movie. Here I have talked about the strong and weak. Strong are the comic contents, and weak are the story script, right? So we have talked about the these things here. Now next is recommendation. Your recommendation is that you want other audience to watch the movie. For example, it's the conclusion or your suggestion is that it is worth to see, or you can watch the movie. It is entertaining. So this is how the recommendation is done in the final part of the review. So these are the ways you can use or apply while writing a short review. Okay, students, I have given you a complete framework or frame how you can write a film review. If you have watched a movie recently, please write about it. You don't need to write this much or this big review. You can simply write some title, characters, plot, and what did you like and what did you dislike, and your recommendation. Okay, you can write 10 to 15 points to complete a review for you. Okay, students, so I hope this will help you a lot if you follow it. So thank you very much for watching this video lesson. We will see in the next episode, next lesson. Thank you so much for your patience to watch till the end. See you again.